Welcome everybody. Welcome to the next level with Sodaron. Today where we VOD review match number 47 of T1 vs HLE. Thank you for showing up. I appreciate you. This is usually the part of the VOD or the stream where I talk for 30 minutes before I get into the game, but today I'm going to try something new and just kind of go right into the game here. Now, yesterday I did a VOD review of Fox vs T1 where T1 lost. And so today the Saturday showdown match on the LCK is between T1 versus HLE. So I find this as an important series here where T1 must win this game. So I think this is a very important game. I did T1 versus HLE or HLE versus T1 a couple weeks ago or a week ago. I don't know. You start doing so many games and they run together, and but you can go back and watch. Now I've been learning and messing with my microphone here a bit, so hopefully the sound quality is becoming much better to everyone that's watching this. And for you out there that watch me and have to unfortunately listen to my microphone setting be so loud or bad, I apologize, and thank you for sticking with me and allowing me to work through my problems instead of moving on to somebody else and forgetting about Sodaron. Here I think the LCK is showing some highlights of the last match like I was talking about.
I don't think we'll see that again, but outside of that, I really liked the angles that were found by Hanwha Live in how they played up the game. Obviously giving Viper a lot
Match
of
36. Now I VOD reviewed this, so I'm going to go ahead and skip through time. If we recall, Poppy was a major pick here. That Peanut played for 2 games, and then the last game T1 took Poppy, and Owner looked kind of bad or nervous, like he needed some practice or he wasn't ready to play Poppy. So maybe we'll see Poppy again.
On Maokai ever in his career. So you have to ban that. That was something that was on the ban list on T1's side. And that means that, like, once you have so many of these must-ban picks that aren't necessarily...
I'm running kind of low energy tonight, so I got my big cup of tea ready to go. But instead of sitting around drinking it before I did the VOD review and be wound up, you know, I thought, well, maybe it's better to kind of conserve it and conserve your energy through the stream. So that's something new I'm trying tonight. I used to be a caffeine drinker that drank energy drinks and coffee, so right now I just really limit my caffeine intake and drink maybe a cup or 2 of tea a day. Now to get through this it may take me a few cups of tea, so who knows, but you're all along for the ride here. Now they're showing that HLE is ranked number 2 and T1 is ranked number 4. HLE 7-2 and T1's 5-4 coming into this match. So I find this is a very important match. Saturday showdown.
They're in line to get that second place. A lot of work to be done if they want to catch Gen G, but you know, they got a decent hold on.
This is a true Saturday showdown here. These are T1 won World Cups, won Worlds last year, so a lot of fans think that they're still the best team in the world. They went to World Cup and won.
Just 8 days, which was when they last faced off. Yeah, I mean, we're hoping that T1 bounces back from the loss.
Just listening to what the casters have to say here.
As T1 were shocked by the upset.
T1 shocked by Fox's upset. What is their game plan for today? Head coach Koma said they are preparing in the wrong direction led to the loss, but the players' forms are improving. So Koma's saying that T1 should be better in this matchup. We could skip through here. Smart Gumayusi versus Machine Like Viper. 2 players who respect each other with an even total H to H at 15-15. Who will take the lead with a win today?
it's easy to say that. Guma has had some struggles. I think the pre-show covered it really well.
So they're just talking about the AD
Honestly,
matchups
starting
here.
from
The
the blue side of T1
Guma and
Canada, they
Viper,
should just ban
15,
Ezreal and pick
15.
Zeri. I think they're going to be in a good spot, or pick an Ashe or something that will work for the side of T1, and I think they'll have some good luck because you
supports carrier sort of really was renowned.
57% of the fans say that T1 will win this match.
You know, you can still make things happen, but not quite the same lane domination we saw prior. Fan vote pretty close.
So I have not watched these matches. Again, I used to put in too much time and watch these before I VOD review, and I realized that that's impossible, or it would take me forever to sit here and do all these VOD reviews. So we're just going as we watch from here on out. That's probably the best route to go anyways. So I have been watching T1 since 2013, so I have been a T1 fan, or I would say if somebody's been watching T1 for 10 years, they might know a thing or two about this team. I've been through the days with Bang, and now I can't, now I see his name like went away from my head here, but the first AD carry that was on Team Liquid now. See, I can't even think. There's been so many players in and out over the years. Wolf, Marin, Tom. Trying to think of some of the older players. Duke.
I hope that their form is improving and they can bounce back, because this team obviously does get a lot of
His
pressure.
name will
I'm
come
sure
back
that
to me
after
at
the
some
loss
point.
against BNK probably not a
You
lot
know,
of
there
good
was
vibes
Pooh Man
going
Do,
on
his
over there.
support.
So their
But for
ability
some
to
reason, I
bounce
can't
back,
think
I
of
will
the first
potentially
AD's name for
define
some reason.
their series tonight.
But honestly, I feel like it's been a hallmark of this roster that we've had a lot of times where it's looked pretty
Piglet.
dire.
There we
You know,
go.
it looked like
Piglet.
they've had
It
big
came to me.
struggles,
It was like Pooh
and they
Man Do
managed
and Piglet.
to revise their strategy and bounce back. So many times we've seen this team take.
I didn't have to
critical
cheat and
defeats,
Google.
but then come back
I didn't have to
and
look
get
at my
some
second monitor.
massive
I don't have one.
victories. Reigning world champions, obviously recently won the Esports World Cup. I'm sure it'll give us a good series.
Okay, I can't read Korean, so that doesn't do me any good.
As Delight's got a big smile on his face today. Everybody else looking very
Get my
focused.
Get my cup of tea here.
Need to take T1 down. Honestly, I feel like Viper's obviously been a huge talking point. Peanut as well.
So if you're new to the Sodaron stream here,
How he's just got
I record VOD reviews and then I put them on YouTube, so you're getting a behind the scenes of how you record VODs. And I have a little thing here. If I have to go AFK, again, I don't make money for this. I'm not on the clock, so I don't know why I should sit here and be miserable. So if I need to walk away for a minute or eat something or I've got a little one, a dog that's going on 15 years old soon. He can get his his driver's permit next year, and then drive me the year after. So I have to take him outside sometimes or feed him or see what he wants. So I've got this little thing here where I will give you a heads up and I will put this up and I will be back, and you can then watch. If you get bored and go to somewhere else, you can always come back and watch the VOD review and catch up. Or I mean the VOD form on Twitch. Unfortunately, I don't think Twitch allows you to pause or rewind during a stream, but afterwards you can go and there will be a VOD. So I'm kind of, the way I do this is I just share it live in case some people want to come over to the stream and chat. But I just kind of give you a behind the scenes. This is helping grow my Twitch channel. I'm not AFK right now. This is helping grow my Twitch channel, so I put it on Twitch. Would like to become a Twitch affiliate, so if you're new to the channel, if you could follow me and you would like my content, or you like what you hear, and maybe in a year from now I'll be much better at this and be at your expectation levels. So if you could follow me at twitch.tv/Sodaron, I would greatly appreciate. I had a process how I do my drafts, but I've learned to digitally show you the information. These are the Damwa Kiev versus Genji. Have to scroll down a bit. Here we go. Fox versus T1 match 43, game 1. So closer was on Corky on blue side. This is where Ivern played. Owner played Ivern. And then T1 lost the first game to Fox. Now I try to discuss and figure out why the pro teams are doing certain things. I can only guess. I try to talk about jungle stuff on my stream. I try to talk about support stuff on my stream. I'm very big on vision. I did some coaching stuff back in 2022 where I did jungle route stuff and I did vision stuff. So again, I try to really look over that and share things that maybe some of you out there don't pay attention to that can help you in solo queue. Or maybe you're not a fan of LCK and I can hold your hand and help you get into the LCK. It's supposedly the top league or top tier of LOL Esports or Professional League of Legends. So game 2, just looking over this data. At game 2, T1 tried to play Ivern again and was successful in game 2. One thing I see them do is this Yone into this Aatrox. They target the Void Grubs and accelerate the top lane. Not so much in this game here, but if you look back at game 1, all the Void Grubs trying to accelerate the Aatrox because this is a bad lane matchup for Aatrox. So this just kind of shows you what it took for Fox to win game 1. Again, I'm kind of low energy, so unfortunately, maybe that's how show business runs, but it's like it would be nice to wake up and be full energy to do your show, but that seems like it's impossible. So, or at least how things are going for me right now, that's what I would like to do. I'd like to get up around like 4 o'clock in the morning and do my streams around 7 to 10 or something like that. That's what I'm working on. I was just up and I thought, well, I might as well give this a try. I mean, I might not even make it through this VOD or through all of the games, but I figured I might as well try. I got the time. Why sit here and waste the time doing something that doesn't benefit my life? So here I am. Here you see Faker had a really bad game into closer. It was 11K to 26K. So I like where I can link past games like I do in the VOD reviews. So the last one kind of where it was Fox playing T1, can kind of link that today into another match and see if what I talked about or improvements on what I was talking about have been fixed. We learned that Corky's really good into Ivern because it allows the Q from the phosphorus bomb counters the W that Ivern has, that you can put the bush on top of a teammate, and then if you don't have vision on that teammate, then you can't do damage. Whereas if you're in the bush and have vision and you're mainly a range champion, you can do damage. So the phosphorus bomb allows you to get vision on the enemy and the W of Ivern. So it's kind of a counter to Ivern. So again, in game number 2, I forget what the statistics say of the Gnar versus Cassante matchup, but Fox went for the Void Grubs, accelerated the top lane. %. Gnar wins 65% of the 60% of the time, which is 15% higher against Cassante than the average opponent. So Fox accelerated this top lane here that made a really bad matchup for Zeus. which I talk a lot about the dragons. I'd like to see a team take 4 dragons, get to Baron, and close the game out in 25 or 30 minutes. But again, you got to make split second decisions where you're in the game. If you're going to take this, or if you got an opportunity to take that, meaning like the Rift Herald or versus the dragon, or the Void Grubs versus the dragon. It's all situational in the game. But a couple weeks ago when I started streaming, I wasn't fully understanding why they were targeting the Void Grubs. I thought it was more of an XP thing, but I see it's to really accelerate the top lane, or you can pick a bad matchup in the top lane against an enemy team and then get the Void Grubs, and it'll help you stay even in lane or win or accelerate. So okay, getting into game 1. This might be more of a I just listen to the cast as I go, and I've done some streams where I barely had the volume up of the cast and I talk over it, so who knows what'll happen. I can't read Korean, so that doesn't do me any good.
Put a lot of weight in stats, but when the guy has literally 3/1 of the LCK, not just
I'm trying to wake up and get some caffeine in me here to talk a little bit more.
Yeah, very damaged focus, you know, DPM, damage percentage, damage per gold.
Now I'm kind of here to hold your hand again, like say we were buddies, sitting on the couch just watching a game of LCK.
You hit the mid game spike, you set up mid, no one can contest the wave at all. You lose wave priority.
I don't really get caught up in stats like this, so I feel like a lot of younger players do, but I just kind of, I don't even really look when they show stats like that. It's a lot of misinformation to me. Now they're doing their job in the LCK right now with those numbers. They're trying to hype the game.
Although we haven't really seen people, you know, occasional Ezreal first picks, but not always.
Yeah, you see some Ezreal first picks. It's really risen the ladder, especially after the buffs on the...
Okay, so T1 get blue side. There used to be a time where T1 would always give blue side over.
In round 1, but we have entered round 2. Things will flip. So T1.
So I have a draft system. I'm trying to learn a different way to show you on here.
They've started with 1.
I know my webcam's here, so you can't completely see this. But I'll give you a page here in a minute and show you.
And they are going to ban the Ezreal. So yeah, I think this makes sense. Rumble ban coming up for Home Life Esports, no real surprise. Probably see the Ashe.
Well, how I try to look at the bans.
Sejuani first, so maybe Ashe on 3.
Sejuani's off the map. The AP counter jungler.
They've actually gone for the Tristana ban, so
Mayokai's the AP jungler. T1 banned Tristana, which I'm sure the fans are happy about.
They definitely could.
Ezreal's banned, so watching HLE here lately, I've got VOD reviews, but Viper's been looking really good on Ezreal, and then it's also a counter, or not a counter, but a flex pick where we've seen Ezreal in the mid lane as well. Okay, so since Nidalee, or since Sejuani's banned, which really doesn't matter though, because we've also figured out here on the stream that Nidalee is a counter to Sejuani. She's good into her. Just most players can't play Nidalee.
On this, you know, I feel
she
like
takes a lot of work to play. You're constantly just spamming the buttons.
Taking over games in the back of the Nidalee. Very momentum-based pick, and I think
did I clear that?
T1
Sorry, 1, 2,
is really when
3.
they drive on the strength of their side lanes. You know, look to find pressure there and look to take over the game. And Oda can really do that with this, but it's gonna be a critical.
I don't know how I don't know how Nidalee is in the Vi or what the stats say.
Follow up as well. Don't think Zeus will be too bothered by this, but I think they're just mostly denying the Renekton and Nidalee combo. Obviously very potent. Could possibly see Zeus go Gnar into it, but instead going for the Zeri. So not only picking up...
So I'd like to see that. What is the Vi into Nidalee? Vi wins against Italy 55% of the time, which so Vi must be good in Italy. That's what I was thinking, that she's kind of a counter. What does op.gg say? Vi 4.3 Challenger Korea. I've been wanting it. Sundered Sky. Okay, I keep misnaming that item, but again, I'm not paid by Riot, so I can't get them all right. I'd like to see what this site says, but we don't see it. So Lolytics, let me double check and make sure that was right. Great site if you want to go and look at these stats, and then you can pick servers and patch. I think these sites get all the data from Riot anyways, so it's really Riot's data, and then they sell the rights to these websites instead of giving them to the fans. So it says Italy has a 27% win rate against Vi. So it's a really bad matchup for Italy. And Peanut seems to really like Vi or player a lot.
But also the Vi, you know, a lot of
you can go in and make picks around the map pretty easily with her ultimate.
T1 goes. So in those 5v5s,
pretty easy.
Already Hon Life Esports is feeling pretty scary.
Vi's a good jungle champion to pick up.
T1 up for here.
You could go ahead and pick your bottom lane if you really wanted to shut down Viper and pick a Nautilus with it, but that's not really what we see in the meta nowadays. A lot more focus on the top side of the map, especially if Ezreal is not available, and it is going to.
Now, a couple years ago, I used to keep books of all the drafts from all of the regions. I can show you someday if you wanted to. So I've studied this and the Barons and the Dragons, where I kept track of all the Dragons, where they, when the teams took them, and again, it goes back to my formula that you take 4 Dragons, get the Baron, and then close the game out. In a perfect world, with the perfect CS that's 100 CS at 10 minutes. I don't know if they're going to play Kali or not. I think they're just flashing because he's got a skin. So we've got Zeka playing, who's not a very well-known AP player, playing that normally plays AD champions, or he's doing well on AD champions this split, into the Corki, the AD. So this is kind of a sketchy matchup here already. Seeing Zeka play AP into Faker.
Orange buff, literally. You just dive them over and over.
I just try to break this down as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to figure out the value on the pick. Like meaning T1's most scared of Peanut on Maokai, and then they're second most scared of Viper on Ezreal, or it could be Flex to Zeka, or then they're a little bit scared of Tristana, and then they're a little bit. So it kind of shows like levels in the bands. Like I'm seeing Jax right now, for example, right? If I'm pretty sure Jax is good into Renekton, so it's telling me this will be a game where T1 try to get. I could be wrong. I got to look at the stats. But a game where T1 try to get the Void Grubs first and second spawn, and then accelerate Zeus into Doran. So let me just look. Instead of sitting here lying to you or spewing false information, I'd rather look. Most people are too lazy to go look anyway, so you can watch my stream and I'll do half the work for you. Jax. Renekton wins 64% of the time. Okay, so Jax wins against Renekton 53% of the time. So some of those numbers are... That's what I thought. I thought Jax was good into Renekton. So Jax wins against Renekton 53% of the time. So this tells me this will be a game where HLE is giving Dorn a good matchup. So I think T1 will be trying to get the Void Grubs 6 minutes, and then the second spawn of Void Grubs, and be up top side trying to play through Renekton. And when you play Renekton, you've got to play about a 20 or 30 minute game and be very aggressive, or you're going to slowly lose the game after after 30, 40 minutes. I don't really understand some of these bans here, like they got into the Xayah and the Callista. These are all AD bans back here.
From Zeus to make the setup harder, so I do think it makes a decent amount of sense, especially since T1, presuming they pick an AD carry here.
The Lights Recon is well known, so it's like a respect ban, perhaps.
Looking at the Kai'Sa, they could just go Kai'Sa Nort in this situation, would give them an answer for the Zeri in those team fights, and more setup for the Nidalee. Also works well in terms of poke, you know, between the Kai'Sa, the Corki, and the Nidalee.
Kai'Sa and Leona.
Get on top of T1, a lot of pressure, but they instead opt for the Leona here. Obviously, Leona being super strong, but does mean later on, you know.
So we'll look at the stat matchups here real quick. Again, most people are too lazy to go look, so I'll do the work for you, and you can watch my stream. So the Kai'Sa into Zeri. I'm guessing Kai'Sa is a Zeri matchup because I kind of personally think, just from the body of work, I would rank Viper higher as AD than Guma. That's just me in the body of work I've seen. I talked about it in one of the last streams where Viper's been a person that's been in the top 50 on the Korean solo queue ladder for every single year since he's been on Griffin. And he's had multiple accounts, and then he's even played from China on 40 ping, which would be very difficult. So Kai'Sa wins 54% of the time. So they picked, T1 picked a Zeri counter. Now what about the Leona? I mean, Leona goes good with Kai'Sa. I don't really need to look at that. And then Alistar, I guess, would be a counter to Leona, because she can knock you away when you try to EQ, W, auto attack, all of that stuff. Leona wins against Alistar 53% of the time, but I can see how the Alistar would be useful for the headbutt pulverize in the area. CC you get from the knockup. Alistar's a really good support champion. I've used to jungle him back when I first started playing, and I've been upset at Riot because they nerfed Alistar's E. The first pro team I saw was TPA, and their thing was they ran jungle Alistar, and he was more of like a support. And I can do the mechanical Nidalee and Lee Sin, but I do have more fun when I'm more of a support type of player. I like to let my team shine. So go ahead and, oh no, my Windows key stopped working, but that's all right. I don't need it. Well, as I'm learning to do this on my stream. That's what this is for. Now what? Now what do I do? There, okay. It's not difficult. It's easy to get on camera and then you get a little bit nervous and you don't want to look stupid to people. So, okay, here we've got... Now, I don't know how this... I would like this to set to, like, maximum font every time, and I don't know how to do this. So, game 1. And then we got the collars in there, too. So I like that. May need to buy the professional version of Epic Pen at some point. But I think we talked enough about the draft here, so we'll go ahead and get in the game. Hopefully it's not a 3-game series. I can get out of here and go to bed. Just, I have to do this tonight, so I apologize if my energy level is not what you like, or you, well, Sodaron, you're not being entertaining tonight. Well, at least I gave you content. You can dig through this. I might not be my entertaining self tonight, cracking jokes and trying to be more fun, but we're just banging out the work here. We're grinding, and that's what I want all of you out in solo queue doing right now when you don't know what to do when Sodaron's around. I want you grinding solo queue, but I want you grinding just 2 or 3 champions in one role every time. And in a month, you'll see a big difference. Or even in a week. If a month is... Look, guys, a month isn't a very long amount of time. One day is nothing. You know, you're young, you get caught up on one day is a long time to get through your day. It's not. Not even a week. A week's not that long of time. So if you allow yourself, or maybe even 5 days if you're in school, just your next school schedule, 5 days, Monday through Friday, and you just play the 3 champions like I'm talking about with one role. And when you get bored or you have a bad game, you don't give up and you keep grinding them, you will see a big difference by the time the weekend comes around. So I want you all to think in those type of terms. Go get a brand new pair of Nikes for $100. No thanks. I don't wear Nikes.
Alrighty. As I didn't quite see who that was, but someone new was doing.
Okay, so first glance here. Again, you get into streaming, you're up here beating a dead horse to death every day. That's your job. You're just going to have to get used to doing the same thing, talking about the same thing every day, because that's what I'm seeing. I don't know why my pen doesn't. There we go. So first thing I'm seeing are the supports have the sweeper lens. Now I talk about how I kind of like, and especially if you're in solo queue, to have the 2 trinket wards. I don't know exactly why they're doing this, and I'm really big on Ghost 4-0 and Zombie Ward as a secondary rune on Leona. I caught that Barrel did this, and I got a VOD review of it. I've not had time to do KT. Would like to do more KT games. I think that they'll be one of the top 3 LCK teams by the time Worlds rolls around. It'll probably be T1 and Genji and KT. Maybe HLE. I think this HLE roster is really good. I'm a fan of Dandy. I'm a really big fan of Viper. I was glad to see him go from the LPL back to the LCK. So I am a big fan of this roster, so it'd be nice to see them go. I think KT's kind of sandbagging, and I've been really down on BDD, though, over the years. So would like to see him do well and go to Worlds. What else do we look at the, there's Barrier on Guma and Cleanse on Viper. And I talk about, there's this imaginary line I want you all to look at like this when you're in solo queue. And anytime, like say you're on blue side, like where Faker is, anytime you walk over this line, you're on the enemy side of the map. And you should not be there unless you have a flash up or a teammate around you, like owners around Faker right now. I'm sure this is what's going on here, is this positioning, or as I call it, man-to-man. Where Renekton's got vision of Jax, Owner's got vision of Vi, Faker's got vision of Zeka, Viper has vision of Guma. No, wait, those are the sports. Delate has vision on Carrier, and Viper has vision on Guma or vice versa. They're playing man to man. You track where your man is and know where he is at all times. Look at it that way. Take care of your opponent. If you're a jungler, go out and try to shut the enemy jungle down. Go into his jungle safely, and my rules of if you're going over the line, make sure you have flash or wards or a teammate. But you're trying to slowly take away the other side of the map. So just rolling along here.
T1.
Carry has got vision on Delight.
It's a YouTuber, Jang Sung-gyu.
And now we see Guma roaming up here. There's
announcer
maybe some type of play going on here. Nope. They're trying to catch somebody out.
It deserves mentioning.
Hey, got a lot of a response, you know. I mean, T1 fans always loud, but
so I didn't really see anything with the vision to point out or break down. I mean, you got a ward here from HLE, which is Zeka's ward. So
on our side,
this will allow Zeka to, or not Zeka. Yeah, that's Zeka. Allows Zeka to play safe on this side of the map aggressively. Because he's got that vision, he'll know if there's an enemy up here or not. And then Faker just got his ward down there too, which we call that the Faker ward, where he puts them usually at a Raptor around 125, 130. So not really much going on. I think T1 will go and try to, let's see. Viper puts a ward here, which is kind of weird.
But if you look at the map, you know, there's full coverage from T1. They have a ward at Peanuts Raptors.
It tells me that HLE think they're going to lose this lane early. Must be a bad matchup, so T1's going to play aggressive. T1's bottom lane always plays aggressive, and they can play aggressive because there's a deep ward over here, so this allows T1 to play safe over here. They're going to play super aggressive.
And he is a fantastic Alistar. A lot of our supports in the LCK, I feel like, are
T1 got vision over here in the
I remember last year,
ancient golem area, so this...
I think it was Callan who said, one of his teammates had said, you know, watch the light play Alistar and just do that. Yeah. Because he was on an absolute tear.
This allows
really confident, and I feel like
Zayas here to play aggressive, and he knows if he's going to get... Now, he doesn't have a ward here, obviously, so I don't think he can go much further than where he is right now. But he can play up to about that far before needing a flash or to dash and get away if he gets caught out.
Just ridiculous.
We see Doran put a ward down. Doran gets a ward here so he doesn't get dove. This is going to be probably kind of, you know, Renekton's like a bully first 6 levels or so.
Yeah, that's the one thing is that without.
But then he falls off.
Yeah, pretty solid win rate.
I've played a lot of Renekton. He's one of my best champions. I could have been a one-trick that would be pro by now if I just stuck with Renekton.
Doran definitely going to be on the back foot in this matchup. He is basically just trying not to lose trades so that he's in a position he can be dove. You know, because if you get low enough on HP, Counter-Strike isn't going to do.
This is also Zayas shoving this hard and being this aggressive. Because again, this is a bad matchup for Renekton.
He's definitely going to be catching up with that.
Because he has owner down here. So this allows him to play aggressive like he is. So, just talking about the top lane because that's where the camera is. Usually I can't really talk about what I want. T1 HLE get the vision on the Scuttle Crab down here, so tells me again I think T1 are going to be going for the Void Grubs. Owner's top side.
Actually, the angle would have been perfect. He was behind, but
as we see Peanut coming top lane now.
Still try to go for it. If Doran, okay, the angle isn't there.
And it's a little bit too late. Doran almost gets. Oh, well, that's a really bad, really misplay there from Zayas. Greedy. So he loses his flash.
Able to avoid the play. Zayas with the flash done into the spear, but just not quite enough damage. And you know,
so now I think T1 will really need the Void Grubs because they already gave a takedown over to Doran into a bad losing matchup.
They're trying to win lane, win game, especially through the top lane, especially through Renekton Italy.
Now here in the bottom side, it looks like HLE are going for the dragon.
Renekton's a a lizard, so he has scales at least.
Got all this vision around the dragon pit, and that's what you need to do.
He scales it,
You
yeah,
need to, instead of being in solo queue and pinging them, taking the dragon and going for it, you need to be on the same page with your teammates, allow them time to go and put vision around. That's a lot of wards.
Actually, a lot of a rough time. Definitely needed to get ahead. Now
Faker's got just like one ward here in the little raptor pit.
Yep. And now the lane is just, it just feels kind of free. I mean, yes, owner might make another pass in a little while. Maybe
and they have a trap. One good reason for Nidalee too, she gives you free vision, so there's a trap sitting up here.
The thing that gets really scary as well is
so that again allows Zeus to play aggressive up here. They got this one little Nidalee trap sitting up here.
Shining light of that play, just doing that quickly enough that there couldn't be the follow-up from Zeus and Zeka.
Void Grubs are coming up. KT1 also have a little trap down here in the dragon.
If we do look at this one, as we do have, by the way, it is Doran's.
Don't know if all the vision just reset or they're. I guess all the wards just reset. So there's T1 taking the Void Grubs.
But yeah, in the mid lane, Zeka does not have TP, neither does Faker.
And HLE are taking the dragon.
That Faker takes to push Zeka out of lane, gets him behind a little bit. As we do have Doran trying to get over here and stop them from taking the Krugs, or the Grubs rather. But Peanut's doing the Drake, so yeah, not going to be able to stop them.
I feel like that was such a psycho play, like a jungler's doing dragon.
So now Peanut can come down here. It looks like Zeka's starting to roam bottom too. No, he just gets a ward at the Raptors, allow him to play aggressive or keep shoving, so he doesn't have to play safe.
An angle here for Guma. He's putting on the pressure. This is
now there was a really good thing that I want people in solo queue to look at that Guma just did. You need to, if you're gonna go for a trade like this, you need a ward like he has, because you forget when you go into a brush, or like I was talking about Ivern's W with Corky's phosphorus bomb, you lose line of sight on your enemy, and they can damage you, but you can't damage them unless you have a ward right here. Now this might be an outplay where Viper forgot about this, or where that Guma would have a ward right here. So this might be a really good play that Guma makes.
Here for Guma.
But this ward, he's taking this trade because he has this trinket ward. Again, you guys think vision isn't important. It's one of the most important things in the game. You make plays around the vision. Now Viper's flash is up and his cleanse is up. Cleanse isn't going to save his life. So he had to put down his control ward.
But a really nice angle there actually taken by Guma to try to just exert a little bit of extra pressure.
Oh yeah, Doran's in trouble now though.
So Corky's getting a lead over
and now Doran's super low.
Talia here, 55 to 70 CS.
T1 doing some work to try and regain pressure.
Baker's got his Mercury treads already. Owner's on his Black Torch.
Try to turn this one around. I mean, they do see them, but they're not going to commit to trying to get a stun down.
So,
Doran at least is going to be
Owner was overextended here, really, so it cost his flash.
Don't think they can dive with Peanut there, but definitely putting some fear back into Doran, you know. Lane not over yet.
Got 3 minutes.
That's the thing. It is
3 minutes 45 seconds till Dragon's back up. 2 minutes 45 seconds till the Void Grubs are back up.
So, gotta be careful.
I would say T1 are gonna go for the Void Grubs. They want to accelerate the Renekton top lane match, so Faker had to use his flash there. Now he wasn't even overextended.
Yeah, hard one there.
He was safely in his, well, maybe he was overextended. Gotta go back a little ways. I don't even think he was really overextended over the line I'm talking about. He was on his safe side of the map, so you see he was allowed to live there. He had his flash.
Still kind of vibing. It's now Faker. Kind of a rough spot here, gonna get flashed on, and now the Zeri coming on in, but Faker, nice Valkyrie and flash away.
HLE lose their Ignite on their support and their Hextech Flash. Zeri just ulted, I see, down in the bottom. Wherever Zeri was in that area where Faker was.
In the end, it's just a trade of summoners. Delight's still okay with it because he has Hex Flash. but not quite the play they were maybe hoping for. We can see across the board, T1 does have a lead. Mid has been going well. Owner does have a lead in the jungle. But obviously, they need a lead to make this composition work.
Spear Peanut there so he can't sweep out the trinket ward. Zeka has his teleport back up. Faker's will be back in a little bit, so HLE might be able to force some type of map or some type of play around the map. Sodaron, it'll be. I can't really judge the exact time on that, but
yeah, and we see. Oh no,
HLE might have some type of advantage here soon for a teleport play around the map, forcing some type of play.
They should pick it up here, but yeah, I mean, I think in terms of the top lane matchup, it's gone pretty
T1 is 1k gold ahead. Now, you really got to pay attention to the itemizations, and it's a problem that I have when I'm in solo queue, even where I forget to look at the items when I'm going in and making plays. So hopefully I can play more solo queue and go over this stuff.
The big thing is that if Zeka was having a good time mid and getting significant advantages,
but like in a team fight here, I would say Faker's going to do a lot more damage because he's on the phage over what Zeka will do. Owner just got his Leandre's Torment. So I think T1 would win a team fight right now. Guma's got his Static Shiv, where Viper decided to take the Zerker Greaves instead first, so he's going to be late on the Static Shiv, so it might be a good time for T1 to force some type of team fight here.
A lot of focus from Owner on the top side of the map, unsurprisingly.
Yeah, kind of expected. And that just brief 1% when Peanut comes top and says, don't
now, Guma has Bear. He might need cleanse in this game to get the CC from Zeka and Alistar.
5v5 here. But again, I don't feel like Honor Life Esports need to unnecessarily take a fight if they don't see the angle. Would be good if they can deny the 6 grubs, though. See the light posturing, does have that Hex Flash if he wants to get over the
Faker's
wall.
gonna shove bottom lane, and Zeka is roaming back to mid, or coming up here to the Void Grubs. Okay, so Faker's teleporting in. I think T1 will win a straight-up team fight right now.
As already 4 grubs going over the side of T1, and
Zeka's over there farming, so they caught Zeka and Peanut kind of out of place right there. T1, that is.
They do trade 1-for-1, but take a look at this. They have control of the river, and that means they should get 6 grubs. Yes, 1-for-1 gonna fall.
There was some type of like miscommunication there. See, Zeka's over here farming, so Carrier decides this is a really good time to flash onto somebody and start a team fight. Zeka's kind of over here where he shouldn't be. He needs to be more like over here just waiting. So kind of maybe some greed right here, falling for the gold and shoving the lane.
Angle on the wall. As already 4 grubs
plus T1 have some extra or better vision warding around here.
He's gonna fall, but Doran on the run is gonna hop away, and T1, they do trade 1-for-1, but take a look at this. They have control of the river, and that means they should get 6 grubs.
Yeah, super decisive play there from
T1 lose Renekton, HLE lose Peanut,
and I feel like that loss of power, that engage threat being
T1 get the Void Grubs. I don't remember if they got all of them or they missed one of them to HLE.
Kill for Doran. But it will be 6 grubs over to T1.
No, they didn't get any.
Look to make use of those in the top lane. Faker getting some more damage.
So they're up here shoving this top lane, taking advantage of these Void Grubs.
He's been CSing like a madman, and now he's just getting all these plates in the top side. And Delight and Zek are here trying to save this turret. I don't think they can, as one last shot will do. It doesn't even need it as the grubs get to work, and T1 take down the first turret.
Yep, and still got 2 minutes
the
left.
Mid laners, the ADs are doing what you should do. Around 15 minutes, you should be farming in the mid lane or when the first turret's down. HLE makes some type of play here and catch out Zeus. His flash was down, so that was the time to definitely make a play.
You know, I was just gonna say, I feel like Zeus, you know, he used the Q on the minions, didn't really get much value from it because he didn't kill them.
Say Faker's gonna get a lot of work done because he has the Void Grubs on that turret.
The whole wave, so you know he prepped it.
Yeah.
He knows his job. 0-3-0 Renekton. His role is just to die and let Guma get fed, I guess, or let Faker get fed.
Yeah.
We're gonna replay of this fight. So it's just decisiveness of carry here. The stun, layered CC with the ER. Peanut doesn't play the game, but I like the peel from Harlem Life.
I don't think there was anything that HLE could do. Again, their mid laner was pushing a wave out, so he was too late for the party.
HLE get chunked out too much, and they can't really do more in this fight.
Yeah.
And I talked about the itemization, and T1 was a little bit ahead, 1,000 gold.
And it does work out. This is the dive, pretty straightforward.
Yeah, we see Owner down here taking away the dragon from HLE. Now you can get the dragon and the Void Grubs, but there's only like a minute at a time, so you really have to rush. It's doable.
Looking for an angle, but they don't really have the setup between the Corky Nidalee to land those skill shots. Plate's going to drop in about 15 seconds. T1 not really able to get anything more with their grubs.
Yeah.
But T1 getting that dragon really evened up the game. I mean, yes, HLE were... Again, I'm saying that because I talk about my formula where you take 4 dragons and get the Baron, and then you can close the game out in like 25 minutes, 30 minutes, 20 minutes if you're really good. When I'm in solo queue, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to close out a game faster and faster every time. That's some of the reason I don't play solo queue like I should, because I don't want a 30 to 50 minute game every time. I want a 20-minute game and to move on. But I've been playing for a lot of years. Just looking at the itemization. Renekton's got his first item. But I'd say that the Trinity Force has a bigger power spike than this lethality item. I think. I could be wrong. And more expensive. So the gold value is probably higher on Jax. But he was able to stay ahead of him and farm CS.
You see them moving up to defend though.
Oh, the double stun with
T1 was overextended here, and it looked like somebody teleport in here, recall.
And they push, they get a bunch of damage into that turret, but they will pay 1 life for it.
You know, and I don't feel like all of these fights...
Zeus is teleporting back to top lane.
But he's been the one picking up the kills every single time. And he is so strong right now that he's going to become a big
T1's got a lot of vision down here by the Dragon Pit. And up into HLE's bottom jungle.
Yeah, the only thing I will say is that if
so this is like T1 own all of this. This is all their map.
So much of your gold just down the drain, because T1 are still, you know, more than 1,000 gold ahead, and a lot of that gold is shored up just
line I talk about.
So a lot of pressure on Doran, which hasn't necessarily been the angle.
Now would be the time to dive Zeus because his flash is down. I think that's what HLE knew to do, but they whiffed.
But I think as well it puts a lot of weight on Doran's TP. If T1 can burn his teleport, that's a lot of time where he can't side lane, can't be that nuisance there. And on top of that, has to kind of hover around the team in case a fight does break out. We do see Honor Life Esports will pick up this tower in the top lane.
Peanut gets the Scryer's Bloom. That's, I think, all he had in the jungle there, so...
He is not going to deny the cannon.
No. Like,
which also that allowed Zeka pressure.
You can have it.
He does.
To really shove the top lane, having Peanut there. If you're a jungle, you're kind of a walking ward for your team.
One side lane is a Talia, not fun for Renekton. The other side lane is a Fed.
Or not kind of, like you are a walking ward for your team if you're a jungler.
Yeah,
really.
Same thing with the support.
Faker seems to be okay in that match.
And like I say on my stream and channel, that's what you make plays around, is the vision and knowing if the enemy, or knowing the enemy's summoner spells, if they're up or down.
And it is a Mountain Soul. A lot of value here, I feel like, especially Honor Life Esports to kind of mitigate the poke coming out from T1.
So HLE have the Rift Herald. I don't know why my ad blocker doesn't work. I have one, but it doesn't completely block out ads for some reason.
Very much after it, you know, didn't get a Chemtech Soul, didn't get a useless one.
I see that
The value is
HLE
Thank
get
you for that,
a ward
Onyx.
back here behind the
It
Dragon
took you
Pit, and
the
Zeus just
second,
roamed through it.
Drake of the game, so no Chemtech Soul yet. And Hextech Drake gonna be feeling good as here's the play.
I
down
wanted to
the
see
bottom
what
side.
happened here, so I'm glad they replayed it. So
Well,
Zeus was
trying to push the
middle.
turret, they get punished.
Yeah, good stun coming out. And yeah, Doran's cleaning up the kill. Could have given it a Viper, but you know what? Viper didn't earn it.
So
Doran earning more.
Faker is so far up the lane here. He's trying to trade on a Zeka.
I mean,
but
there's
his
nothing really to say there.
turret
Faker just gets caught out. He had to use his
Going
flash,
over
and
to
it
the
did no
side,
good.
Esports and Zeka did have to TP for it, but they still have Doran's.
Teams and players do that so they taunt and put pressure somewhere so the enemy team will come up there when they... But really what's going on is they want to make a play elsewhere on the map, like bottom or mid lane, so that's why Faker's shoving like that. But it looks like Doran's starting to really get ahead here and accelerate. He's behind in CS, yes, but he's
available. They are just gonna
sitting on his Tiamat and Trinity Force. I think they have much higher gold values than what the lethality item. I don't know off the top of my head. I can't remember what that lethality item is. And
take a look at the difference.
Pickaxe.
Support gold. Carrier is 1,000 gold ahead.
Yeah, he's
of
going
Light.
for
I don't even know how that's possible.
Executioner's Calling or Black Cleaver.
I guess that makes sense.
Executioner Calling is the cheap item, the anti-heals.
Not much Faker can really do when he's that pushed up. Baiting the flash. I'm just gonna say it was a big mistake.
So that was a really good play to get Faker's flash out, and hopefully HLE take advantage of this. I mean, the way HLE are looking in this game, that they are going to have the spot of T1, and T1 might really be burned out by the time they get to Worlds, and this might be what's going on right now. They just did World Cup. You know, if you're a top team, you've got to do a lot more commercials and promotions and go around and speak and do extra engagements outside of playing and the matches. And so like Gen G's going through this right now as well. So that's another thing that might plague Gen G coming on, all the extra engagements they have on outside of playing all the LCK matches and traveling. I don't think T1 can straight up. They're gonna have to catch out Zeka here.
Not sure if he even spotted him here as now the engage comes in. Zeka, no flash, but
Zeka didn't get caught out. It's a good time, like I said, to really force this fight if you're HLE, because Faker had his flash down. So like I said in the last match, like T1 really played through Faker. We saw it in the last match. Faker, if he had flash, might be able to get up there, but he doesn't have flash, and neither does Zeus. So they just kind of scare HLE away, and really they're wasting time that they could be shoving out this lane and this lane. Faker's not a perfect player. I do like that Faker works hard, and that is one reason that motivates me is the work like Faker puts in. That I've liked Faker and been a fan of Faker, and so I'm trying to show that work ethic in my stream. I'm from a hard-working family, a middle class, or maybe lower middle class, military, and I was taught those ethics, so I put that into my work when I'm doing something. I work hard. Maybe I work too hard sometimes where I need to work smarter.
But man, I just think it's crazy how much attention Zeus drew there. As this
for example, on my channel here, it took me 66 videos doing like 4 or 5 hour long videos of talking till I realized I need to do something different on my microphone. That I can't talk that loud for. It might even sound like my voice is going right now.
In terms of XP, it's nearly 2 levels between
So I talked about this
Yeah,
on
so
the
the
Fox
farm
versus
of this
T1 or
lane,
T1 versus Fox that we saw this, that Faker won't make plays on the map or objectives till he has his items. He's very item dependent. So he will not go for Baron till he has 2 items. And this bit T1 against Fox, like where we saw Faker hesitate, where they could have taken him an objective, and but Faker was like, no, we can't go and team fight yet. I gotta go recall and get my item, and then we can. And I think sometimes that really holds T1 back. Doran's getting scary. Doran's on his 2 items already. That I think this is a much higher value. These items of Jax versus the 2 items that Renekton have.
He has a trinket.
So it's a much higher value.
He's just like, nope, I will save these. Oh man, that poke.
Owner's just not missing.
The thing is as well,
2 items on Guma, 2 items on Carrier. The light's not there yet, so maybe that'll cause some hesitation to HLE. 2 items. Peanut's not on his yet. I don't think this stuff really bothers Peanut. He'll just go regardless. So Owner's on his 2 items.
Right now from the Kai'Sa needs the AP for the Nash's Tooth for the resets as well. But Faker with the Triforce Manamune, those rockets are actually starting to do a fair bit.
Yeah, absolutely. You're just tipping them away, and you see T1's game plan there for a while was just group.
So the Dragon's up in 1 minute 40 seconds in the Baron. Now this is, I'm pretty sure that HLE is about to the point where they can go over here and take the Baron away from T1 right in front of them. So let's go ahead. T1's over here claiming, no they didn't. Peanut got a ult off on Owner right before he got the Owner got the Scuttle Crab, but Owner did get the Scuttle Crab with the burn, I think, from the Leandri's Torment or Smite. No, not the Smite. Okay, so let me just stop it here. I was getting ready to talk about some type of team fight here. So it was Owner got caught out by Peanut's ult, but I wanted to look and see. That cost Owner's flash right here. Zeus' flash is down. Guma's flash is down. Carrie's ignite is down. His ultimate is down. It should be back up here in a couple seconds. This is what you make plays by. You know the timers of this, and if you're a professional player or you think you're really good at League of Legends, well, let me ask you, what is the cooldown timer on Renekton's ultimate in seconds? What is the cooldown timer on Guma Yushi's ultimate in seconds? What is Vi's ultimate timer in seconds? As in, if you were in the game, you would know exactly when it's back up or not. You probably don't know that. You would probably lie to me and tell you knew, but you wouldn't know that. And so you make plays around the map like this.
But they'll be happy to get that flash out of Owner.
Yeah, very.
I don't know if... Okay. I was like, is there a button on the side of my mouse I hit that messes with my sound?
Aggressive play there. Oh, Viper's in trouble.
Yeah, he's gonna have to throw the ult, and now
Faker kind of last ditch goes into Viper there, and Viper had to use his flash.
Carry in a rough spot once again. He's gonna have to just walk this one off in kind of a rough spot.
Yeah, Faker getting some damage on his side. I think you just take this.
So that was good.
So finally that
Hiding HLE around here.
T1 will be the victors there.
Now Renekton has his 2 items. No T1 will not go for the Baron unless they have their correct itemization. Like I said, the time really is at 20 minutes. You should have 2 items. So now T1's ahead. Even though this here makes up for a little bit of a difference.
And didn't even manage to finish off Carrier there. So Viper being flashless is a bit of a vulnerability, but I think the big thing is you still have...
Looks like, yeah, I thought he was going to get caught out right there.
Zeus is so close to flash.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, he would have got caught out. That was probably where HLE knew about the flash on Zeus. They should, at that level.
It would be a lost streak, a lost fight.
They should know exactly when it's back up. Give or take like maybe 5 seconds, but that could be the difference between winning a team fight or not.
when he can just
Zeus is down here shoving the bottom lane because he has his flash up and teleport. Doran doesn't have his teleport up.
And they say, okay,
So,
we're fine to just fight here.
might have been some of the reason why Zeus was shoving that lane as bait.
Go for a similar trick, TPing in for the flank, but they might be wary of it now.
Yeah, it's just gonna be
I don't think, again, T1 can go in and straight up win a team fight.
Does go the way of Peanut, and now they're turning on a Carrier who's left out to dry. Nobody can get in there on the side of T1. Carrier goes down. HLE Esports looking for more. That's a flash comes in. The counter strike hits two. But
Well, that Stair Gage took a lot of, did a lot of work right there. Now, Owner knows he can't do a bunch of damage all at once, right? You gotta poke the enemy down, and it takes some spears. You can't just go in and do Nidalee's half of her burst damage on the Lioness page. Like, you've got to also land spears on people. So it's a free Baron now for T1, or for HLE. Looking like this might be HLE's game. And I would really like to see if HLE win this game, Peanut play Nidalee. This is supposed to be one of Owner's best champions here. He's like a Lee Sin, mechanical, Nidalee type of player.
And everyone just peels away, take out the Leona, and then focus on this Renekton afterwards.
Yeah, it looks like Owner's not doing much damage in that. His spear missed Zeka. I think Zeka dodged it with one of his abilities. Notice how T1 had wards there. They placed down wards so they could get vision on the enemy and do damage. So that's the thing about the brush. Again, you don't have vision in the brush. The enemy in the brush can do damage on you, but you can't do damage unless you have vision. So HLE get the Scuttle Crab.
And now they take the Baron. They don't have a huge gold lead right now, but they have absolutely taken over this game. They get themselves a...
I don't know who wins the series. I may
look to take some gold off the map, and
maybe 3 games, and I might be like, oh man, I gotta do 2 more of these.
T1 to be in because, you know, we kind of talked about before, the Renekton is going to fall off, the Nidalee not going to...
Now around this time you want about 300 CS. You want 10 CS per minute. So Faker's behind, Zeka's behind. Well, you should have about 270 CS right now. Viper is ahead. Guma is behind.
they're fake backing. They're fake backing. They're not actually backing. And Faker, he falls.
I think HLE is going to be able to close this game.
In front of them, and that is going to be Faker down. And now Doran is just gigantic on the Jax, and they're just diving over the wall.
I mean, personally, I'm a fan of T1, but I like when other teams win, so I don't need to see T1 win every match. I enjoy seeing other teams win. I like seeing Peanut get to shine. I like seeing Doran get to shine. A lot of people... I've been big on Doran. I've been a fan of Doran. I've watched a lot of solo queue of Doran because I was maining top lane back in like 2022, 2021. And I was really big on... I forgot his name right now.
Absolutely huge win from HLE Esports in this one. T1 were able to win early on in the lanes, but HLE Esports kept cool.
It'll come back to me. There's just so many players.
Insane amount of kills in this game, and he actually utilized that lead extremely well.
I don't know why I can't even think of his name at the moment. He was the top laner on Damwon, and for some reason he's been away for a while, so I can't even remember what his name was.
You know,
went to FPX.
And I feel like
again, I'm getting older, so if you start to lose these names and stuff, it'll come back to me.
Peanut, who had some rough times in the jungle matchup, did his job when it came to the 5v5.
Not Smeb. I was big on Smeb too.
Really strong performance. T1, they came in with a new strategy. They had a good
Naguri.
match, you know,
There we go.
But it didn't work.
I was a really big Naguri fan. I loved watching him play solo queue because he just didn't care, and he played super ham all the time and limit tested. Wasn't the way to play that I would want to show you if you want to know the right way to play. But he just kind of looked like he played to have fun all the time. This is where I want to do this.
first blood, and he ran away
And
with the game.
this is the end game results.
T1 really struggling. HLE Esports are an incredibly strong team right now, and they look primed. I mean, they beat T1.
So again, like I was talking about, said at the beginning of it, the matchup, it looked like T1 would be trying to get the Void Grubs. Now, it kind of goes back to, like I said, about the value of the Dragons and the Baron to close the game out, the Rift Herald. But HLE just closed the game out with the Baron buff, 25 minutes, 30 minutes. But T1 tried to accelerate this top lane with the Void Grubs, and I guess it failed. Peanut looked like he had a really bad game to Owner, but Owner couldn't do anything, so there was really no point of having Nidalee in that game. It looks like he did a lot of damage, so maybe he hit a lot of spears. 13.5k, so don't put like Owner down that he's bad. It's just like the positioning and the play style that T1 had in this game just didn't work. The Nidalee is you needed to go around and kite, or time. You need time to get people down with the I guess this is kind of like a poke comp, because Kai's is gonna poke a little bit, poke from the Q and the R on Baker's Corky. It just didn't work. The Alistar did a lot of work zoning people out, and then you'd get jumped on by Doran. Viper, been wanting to see him in the LCK, so, and I think the LPL actually leveled Viper up. So this is the section where I take an AFK break. It may take me 20 or 30 minutes. Again, just go back and watch the VOD, skip through, and then at some point when it's on YouTube, I will edit all that out. You won't even have to do anything. You can just watch with your eyes. You don't have to look at your phone or do anything, and I'll even do all the work for you. So I will be back, and thank you for joining the Sodaron stream, or as I said, this is the next level with Sodaron. Looks like my volume went down just a little bit. Oh, well, yeah, I need to stop. Or need to pause that. It looked like my microphone volume went down just a little bit, so I don't know what's doing that. There I go. Okay. So I apologize if the microphone went down just a little bit. Hey now. Hey now. Check, check, check. Hey, can you hear me? And welcome back, everyone, to the next level with Sodaron, where I try to get you on the next level of your ranking in League of Legends, or the next level of competition. You want to get better. Here we go. I'm trying to help you get to the next level. So I do apologize, working out some kinks. I see where my microphone might have went down a little bit during the first game, where it's just like a tiny bit, like a couple numbers, so it shouldn't really make or change if you like my content or not. But just for me personally, I do see where it went down just a little bit, so I apologize. I don't know what changed that. I must have accidentally hit something. It looks like it's good now. Again, this is where we need another PC on the Sodaron stream. And maybe Santa Claus will bring us one, and have a second monitor so all of this can be over here. I think people get turned off by the screen, and I apologize. I'm a one-man show working on one monitor. Would be really nice to have all this over on a second monitor in the Twitch chat, and then I can be a real Twitch streamer. And I can monitor and see where I don't have to go back and do a whole VOD and realize that the sound messed up. Or, like 5 seconds I can realize, oh, my volume went down real low. So I apologize if that happened in this VOD. Nothing I can really do about it. I'm just kind of pointing it out to you or myself, if you notice. Maybe there's like a part of the last series where it went down just a little bit and now it's back up. You'll just have to turn your TV volume down just a little bit, up or down. I don't want to inconvenience you, the watcher, because I want you to have all your eyes on me and watch and listen to what I'm talking about. So you might have to move over and get your remote and hit a button or two. I apologize. When I'm running a show, I shouldn't make you have to do anything but sit and watch or take notes. But that did happen, so I apologize. Or maybe I wasn't close enough to the mic sometimes talking to this mod. It's some things I'm trying to work out. Again, it's where I need this extra monitor, but I don't have right now. So just working through the kinks, ironing out the kinks. So here we go into game number 2 of match 47 of T1 versus HLE. I'm a one-man show, so I have to do all of this myself.
Which is an app and overlay that gives you a huge advantage when you play League, so you can use it.
Highlight the draft specifically. I really like the approach from T1. I think identifying after the BNK loss, we cannot play at a sufficient level as Rio and Tristana. Great call. Not giving it to Viper, also great call.
Yeah.
I guess Viper's gonna get the player of the game in game 1.
I wouldn't even be mad if T1 ends up running back this draft. The only thing is that I think Carius Leona hasn't really been the same level as Nautilus, and Nautilus into Zeri is something that I also really like. I think maybe the Renato was something that they were afraid of, but outside of that, I think the draft from T1 is the only real angle.
Building my draft
The only part of it
page.
that I didn't necessarily like as much was Corky Nidalee not necessarily being
Game
a lot of
2.
victories on, a lot of them coming from Gen G as well, which kind of doesn't count because they can kind of win with anything at this point in time. And the Talia Vi is so incredibly powerful. So the fact that you have to sacrifice that in order to get this Renekton Nidalee that didn't even quite get off the ground.
Just like to skim over the analysis to see if I say anything different, or maybe Sodaron is not a liar and has some real analytical knowledge of this game. I mean, I've been watching for 11, 12 years now. I worked with a team back in the summer of 2022. I may get into more of this the longer I go and on my stream. I'm not really out to put people down. I feel like I got treated kind of dirty, not so much by the org or anything. It's just the scene and how you get treated. That you can go and spend a summer working with a team and then try to maybe get a job or something with other teams and nobody cares. So that's just the scene.
The shutdown of Guma to Viper. I think the subsequent fights become a little bit more playable, but that's
Let me double check here. I don't know if I'm like hitting a button. Okay, that's good. I wanted a screenshot of this, so I'm gonna take one. I'll probably put that on my thumbnail somewhere. So the drafts, Saturday Showdown. This is a big match here, guys. This is a really big match if T1 lose. Really bad for him.
Great, and given how good Thomas' team fight, it's a base vote.
Honestly,
So Viper got player of the game. I don't know if I would say Viper was the player of the game or not. Maybe Jax was the player of the game. Doran.
The only argument that I'd have is that we've seen a lot of incredible...
Oh, it was Doran. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
It was the one.
I thought I saw the casters were talking. Chronicler was talking about Viper was the player of the game. I didn't see what Viper did that was such player of the game. I'm not really one that agrees much with Chronicler's analysis.
Yeah, it looked like two trains of thoughts there.
But hey, you need different outlets on a broadcast. People have their own opinions and views.
Yeah, and it is a composition that wants to sit around and poke for a little bit as well. You know, get those Void Seekers, get those rockets out there. But
yeah, that was kind of a poke comp that T1 running. I was just wanting to see where
unfortunately it just doesn't quite.
Everybody voted, but
well,
I can't find it. It's not really worth my time.
Esports in this game number 1 could
win, but I think the light also a crucial part in how that team fights played out. That's my take. And if you don't like it,
okay, so into the draft.
I'm gonna keep watching.
Well, we're getting into game number 2. T1.
So T1 are on the blue side again, and they're gonna ban Maokai again from Peanut. So I guess they're scared of Peanut. Maybe we'll see Poppy.
Any thoughts, Ox?
You gotta make some tweaks. You
We
know,
get the, I guess, Hanwell was saying that maybe like as a last resort here, that they would go the Ignite Rumble to win the top lane because T1 had a bad time in the last game.
Probably fare better in this situation, so we'll see. But the thing is now, T1 have revealed that their plan was to first pick
This is just how I want, or I think about these picks and view them. I kind of view them as levels of difficulty with the team. Like, once they get about to the 4th or 5th pick, they're not as scared, but their top priority is worrying about this Maokai on Peanut, or Viper getting this Ezreal.
Take an extra 40 seconds to decide. Either way,
Or,
it's Nidalee
so we see the Nidalee again, which really didn't look that good in the first game.
I think that would be
you think so?
Maybe Poppy if we don't see Vi.
Yeah, I could see them winning with those 2 picks and maybe some other picks as well. Although I'm not gonna lie, if Peanut goes, I am playing Vi again. I'd kind of get it. But I think the Zeri obviously worked well with what the composition wanted to do. They're actually prioritized the
Renekton. I don't know why the Renekton.
Off the bat, T1 don't get to play that duo again. Be interested to see what Zeus prioritized.
I guess maybe they're saying they had a difficult time in the top lane in the last game with Zeus playing Renekton and Doran. Zeus looked like he was doing good into Doran.
You know, lane did not go too well for him into Faker, so they will deny that one away. And this is one of these situations where, you know, the phrase, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But I
So
think
they take the Corki way again.
No, we'll just improve. You know,
No Ivern.
It wasn't one-sided enough. It was very close. We think things can be better.
You might see like Faker's Azir or Lucian.
I mean, that would be kind of weird to pick 80 carry Lucian in this spot, but
So we're gonna see Faker on Lucian
Yeah, we have seen this come out
into the Corki, which has beat Corki. So
the Corki, and then the Gnar coming in. So less setup for the Nidalee, but T1 still following through with win lane win game.
Yeah, it's
Zeka looked pretty good on the AP champion the last game. I think I said he might not be very good on the AP champions, but he won the last game on Talia and laned well into Faker.
We do have Zyra selected here for the side of Peanuts, and you know, it's not Nidalee, but it does offer you really strong, fast clears and ability to affect lanes in your own right.
Yep.
And I didn't talk about it yet, but we got the Zyra. Zyra adds you some extra vision. She can run the movement speed rune, so she can run around the jungle very fast, help support the lanes. We saw on my stream the other day, you can do like a 20-minute Baron with 3 people with Zyra. So she does a lot of damage when it comes to clearing like the dragon or the baron, the void grubs.
I'm sure he knows it wasn't his best game at Leona. I think that Kaisa is a strong shout. It's another
Your
pick
plants
that
may
Viper
do
looked
a
very
bit
strong
too
on.
much damage in the jungle right now, so it's easy
That's what you do,
to.
right? Each team
It's
picks
like an
their carry
exploit
mid,
right
and then
now.
6 are banned to really just hit Viper's pool. That's how you stop him from carrying. You know, just ban everything. We'll see what he opts to bring out here. Looking at the MF, he should get buffed not too long ago.
But I put these numbers on here so it kind of looks like packages, you know, like the Renekton Corki's a package deal, or the Lucian Gnar is a package deal.
The days you're playing in gold with your friends, like ranked 5, and you had like Zyra MF, and you're like, oh, we can ult together, it'll be sick. Kind of gives me
So
those
HLE
vibes,
banned
you know?
Callista and Fiona.
You throw some big teamfight ultimates right on top of the enemy champions, and they can't do much.
Then T1 banned Zeri and Kai'Sa. I'm just thinking about these matchups for a second. I think this is the first time we've seen Misfortune this summer or this season in the LCK. So we see Jhin Braum.
She's really out of position. But the thing, I feel like they're lacking setup for the Nidalee. And
so let me look at the analytics here, what this says. Jhin 14.3. Korea bottom lane. Misfortune wins 52. Jhin wins. Okay, Jhin is a misfortune counter. Jhin wins 52% of the time. All right. Okay, I'm on the wrong page here. I wanted to see what Braum 49% of the. Oh no, it's not what I was looking at. I wanted to see the Braum and the Misfortune stats. Braum. Braum's really good in the Misfortune, which is kind of makes sense because his wall can probably block her poke from the Q and her ult. And might block some damage from Zyra's plants as well. Corki's ultimate.
But again, you don't have fantastic setup to land some of these key skill shots. We've seen the engaged Braum far too many times.
You're saying Rel. That's not Rel.
Maybe he said not Rel.
Yeah, maybe.
No.
He was saying something like that. Could have been saying Ali as well, which Alistair. Makes sense. He had a great game in game number 1. Why not just play it again? It is very strong.
So
yeah,
Alistair.
I feel like a lot more onus is going to be on Delight in this one because you don't have the Vi. You don't necessarily have the fed Jax. Hopefully the Renekton gets fed is what I'm guessing.
Well, let me look and see what.
Italy, probably not. So closing the gap on a T1 might be harder. And the
Alistair and the
have
Braum
like
stats are.
The Jhin as well. If the poke starts to land, you can open up with the ultimate. But I still feel like there's a lot of team fight power in Home Life Esports. T1's composition needs a fair bit of finesse, so we'll see. See what they're able to do in this one.
It feels very similar to game 1 with wildly different compositions.
Alistair wins against Braum 55% of the time, so Alistair's a Braum counter. Yeah, I can't read Korean. I should be able to as much time as I've watched the LCK, but I can't.
It feels like Home Life Esports have their number this split.
I don't know, I may need to move my microphone in front of me. I tried to do it on the side, and that may be a really big problem where I just need to put it right in front of me. So I may do that on the next stream, and maybe my mic sound will be much better. Some of the reason I don't is I have this big Corsair mouse pad, and I've been afraid of it like ruining it sitting on it, but it's not going to make any difference. That's silly on my part. So the next stream, I think I will put the microphone like right in front of me, so it will probably fix a lot of my voice problems and make me sound even clearer. So I apologize. I'm probably being lazy. The placement where I had my microphone.
We sent you to America so you could be our mole.
But I think the next stream I'll just put it right in front of me.
Maybe there.
This is right in front of my face, and then my mic is right beside of me, kind of angled too, so it's probably not good that my microphone's angled. I just caught on to that, like I should probably put it right in front of me. I just don't know if I'm supposed to always be in like right by this red, or if this is good right in here. So I don't know. I never know how loud to talk. Is this too loud? I mean, I'm not talking too loud right now. But again, I don't have this monitor to look. But I would say if I put it right in front of me, it may make a big difference. So I think I'll do that the next game. The reason I don't is I'll have it right in front of my vision. But I can work around that.
Life Esports. Just wanted getting on in there.
Getting hyped.
But I just noticed how, like, you know, I move around a lot like this and that. So it probably causes problems where my sound kind of goes in and out. And so that would be annoying. And if I put it just right in front of me, it would fix those problems. Maybe I should do that now. I don't know, maybe that's better. I'm trying a different mic placement now, so maybe it doesn't make any difference. But I'll try that right there. I may need to turn up my gain just a little bit, or maybe that's good enough right there. Might make a big difference. So I'll place that right there. The reason I don't do it is because, again, the camera placement, and I don't really have the correct desk for this, but that might be a lot better. Or I may have to like put the keyboard off to the side a little bit when I'm doing this, and that's okay. That may be more professional of me if it's like right here. Yeah, I can see. Oh baby, I don't have to talk that loud at all. Milk and sugar. But that causes my keyboard to be off to the side a little bit. But that's okay. I can work through this. So maybe this is good right here. So again, if you're tuning in, I'm messing with my mic placement a little bit. Just test, test, test. It might be good back here. Hey now, can you hear me? See, I just don't know how close it's supposed to be. I think it's supposed to be about right there. Hey now. So, seems very important. Now I got to get used to this keyboard over here to the left, but that's okay. So first thing I see is sweeper ward on Braum. And then the rest of T1 have trinket wards, and HLE have all trinket wards this game, which I talk about, like in solo queue, I would think the 2 trinket wards in the bottom lane are better just because you get more ward placements and it's going to allow you to play aggressively. And then you just recall, or when you back the next time, and trade it for the sweeper ward. So I call this like man-to-man, like I say, looking for... I don't see where Gnar is, so I'm guessing Gnar's with Braum right here. Guma's missing. Faker has sight on Zeka. Delight has no sight on anyone. If Owner's probably over in here trying to get some type of either obviously a ward or maybe like a trap. Maybe he'll get some type of leash and be able to use a trap to get extra vision. So maybe Carry is going to come up here and they may be protecting. Well, there's no Faker. I was going to say maybe they're trying to protect Faker so he can get his ward up here. But Carry, Zeus, and Guma are all right here in the brush in the mid lane. I think they're trying to just get this extra plant stomped out, which it does help put the jungler behind, but from what I've seen, it's not really worth the effort.
And this time he did it for Life Esports. Just wanted to show, you know, he's playing both sides.
Wait,
he's not sure which team he wants to support yet.
Last game he did it for T1.
So Guma, Carrier, and Zeus.
And this game he did it for
all of T1, 5-man invade.
And
so they're trying to shut Peanut down.
Can they break the 1-game streak?
And that would be Guma's. Oh no, that Faker got his ward. So they all came up here to help Faker get his ward. We call this the Faker ward.
And I like the T1 using the strength of the Braum level 1. I feel like teams don't do this enough. Such a strong level 1 champion. If you get hit by the wind.
And it looks like Zeus is going to help Leash Owner, which this forces HLE to start down at their Ancient Golems. HLE have a ward on T1's Raptors, which I don't think T1 saw this.
Winter's Bite, you're just basically dead, because if you flash, they can just flash after you and proc the stun. So
I'm assuming Peanut needs his leash here.
Top side, but they've lit up Peanut's jungle like a Christmas tree, forced him away over to his blue buff, where he didn't have as many plants set up. And we'll see what Owner managed to do. He did steal away.
Yeah, I do feel like my microphone placement is much better now. I apologize it took me this long to figure this out. It's just I wasn't comfortable running the like Epic Pen and the keyboard and all this stuff at the same time, and it took me this much practice to get this level. Now where I'm comfortable, I've got my keyboard clear over on the left side, using it with just my left hand, kind of like playing piano.
Buff in the last game. Will he go?
So T1 have a ward down here at their red buff. I think that's Guma's ward when he pathed down.
For like, I'm gonna steal a buff and then cover my own.
Now, what did I say the Gnar matchup into Renekton was? See, I have to type awkwardly now, but that's fine. That's better than making my whole stream sound bad from talking at a weird angle. Gnar has a 53%. Gnar top has a 55% win rate. We're looking into Renekton. Gnar wins against Renekton 48% of the time, so Renekton's good into Gnar. So Zeus has a bad matchup again. I guess T1 are going to try to accelerate and get the Void Grubs early. Owner's up here now, starting on HLE's top side jungle.
Will he want to split the map completely? Looks like he's taking the Raptors as well, so maybe looking to get a bit more out of this. And the question is, what will he do to stop Peanut from stealing away jungle camps in return?
Yeah, it's definitely something they've been
This is the first time we're seeing Faker on this Lucian mid. I know a couple years ago that's all we saw was Lucian mid.
Into Corki, you have to put on pressure. You have to win lane. Otherwise, the
Zeka is undefeated on Corki, and Delight has 7 wins on Alistar.
Really well, as they can put on a lot of pressure. We've also seen some other Lucians just kind of go even and not really do as much as the game comes along.
As we see Peanut make a roam in here, and he's a level ahead of Owner right now. I'm guessing this is going to cost Faker his flash. I could be wrong. Don't see Delight on the map. He might be right there with Misfortune, but we don't see him on the map right now. Yeah.
He's so fast.
And, I mean, he's
I think
gonna
this
land
is
the
going to
root as well.
cause
That's
Faker his
electric.
flash.
And all of a sudden, Faker, he's not gonna have to flash anything, but he's not really winning the lane.
Yeah, and now Zeka's gonna have so much prio.
I think Peanut will get
I
this
was thinking, hey, does he invade red side with a bot prio?
Ancient Golem before Owner does, but Peanut doesn't have his flash up, or his smite up yet, so...
Yeah.
I think he's not gonna be able to approach.
See, he's
so
making
those
very
guys heal the
precise
buff away.
plays right now.
Stood behind the blue
Risky
buff, and he's like,
plays.
well, you can't extend into
But he
this.
had Dorn to
And
come in
he
and
stopped
help
all the
protect
spears.
him.
Yep, and also holds his nerve when the Nidalee space.
So if you're in solo queue, don't do that unless you ping your top laner and they come down and help you.
Don't need to discuss.
Tell that to Jonah Strong.
Don't need to address it.
I think Owner's gonna get solo killed or taken down.
He does heal. He's got red buff. I mean, this is getting relatively close. And now Peanut is like, uh-oh, I've got a flash away. Here comes Doran and Zeka. Gonna get the flash out of Owner. This is getting incredibly dicey in the T1 jungle. As now some plants on the ground, but Zeus not going to get rooted.
It'll at least give HLE the Scuttle Crab here. That'll give HLE the Void Grubs.
Dicey, incredibly dicey.
Like I say, if you get the Scuttle Crab over the objective, then you kind of have it claimed that it's yours. There's probably, I wonder what the statistic is of winning a Baron or a Dragon with the Scuttle Crab versus not having the Scuttle Crab.
In the 1v1, and it's just a trade of flashes. You know, 2 flashes for the top and jungle from both sides.
As T1 have this Scuttle Crab warded down here.
Action in this game between the 2 junglers.
So it's kind of like HLE's
You take the L and just
wanting to take the Dragon and Void Grub.
hope that the Nidalee leaves you alone and stops bullying you. Whereas this one, Peanut's like, no, I'll invade.
I mean, especially because he makes a nice little pass through mid, because he knows, you know, what I was talking about before. Faker's going to want to put on as much pressure as possible.
So Nar's getting bullied, or looks like he's getting bullied by Nar, which...
It's not a kill, but it's a very effective gank because you push Faker back, you allow Zeka to get ahead on XP, seemingly, as well, and on farm.
I forgot what the statistic said. Is it 55%? %52% of the time. Okay. Sometimes this is misleading.
And you're able to just go in.
So it's looking like Renekton's doing pretty well into this matchup. Where Nar's supposed to be the winning lane.
You're like, well, I guess I was out of position, you know?
That's why I'm like, do I trust this data or not? Because it doesn't... Nar wins against Renekton 52% of the time. Okay, well, Nar's supposed to win. Most people say, well, Doran's not a good player, or Zeus is better than Doran. Well, Doran's in a losing matchup and ahead by 10 CS.
They just come in your lane and they just damage you. And you
I think a lot of this, though, was the pressure that they had from Peanut going in and stealing jungle from Owner, and then that caused confusion and HLE.
Up here, Delight trying to help out. And he will be just fine. They did stop the back of Guma. Neither AD carry has back just yet.
It is a Jin, though, with a Braum. Not exactly the best passive stacker, you know. In fact, out of every champion on T1, including the
HLE's bottom lane's got this deep ward in this brush that'll allow them to play aggressively and overextend this line.
I mean, at the end of the day, it still does have synergy, but not in terms of stacking passive. You're exactly right. It has synergy elsewhere.
Peanut coming mid lane to make some type of gank or put some vision down in the enemy jungle. Here's a big thing. We've got Viper. This is going to be bad, I think, for Nar because we've got... I think T1 just got tricked right here because Viper's making a rotate play. Doran is coming bottom, but Nar teleported, it looked like, to the wrong spot.
Where there's like one attack left to go for the stun, and Guma's just struggling with the ammo,
just running around reloading.
You know, like, oh god!
Or HLE is trying to prevent these Void Grubs from going over to Nar, who should be a winning matchup, even though he's behind. I think it was again where the pressure that Peanut put in the jungle, taking the Ancient Golem and causing confusion on T1.
But not going to be 6 this time to T1.
Doran loses his ward, so he might not be able to play so aggressive.
Get the extra XP for the Zyra, and sure they don't get more, but they disengage the situation.
So HLE get 1 Void Grub and T1 get 2 Void Grubs. And it looks like, oh, I was going to say Viper's recalling and going back bottom. T1 have to put the throttle down here and get the dragon. So interesting to see if HLE do anything to prevent this first dragon. Owner backed off the dragon. It's taken the ancient golem instead, which is,
You can see how some of the training patterns do go in mid. Obviously, Faker's been
I guess, a better decision right there.
So that's going to set him behind for now as well.
He's got his 2 laners down there, Karya and Guma.
The push going on in the top lane, and they're even being shadowed by Peanut.
I thought my dog needed me, but he's snoring or dreaming.
And for now, Doran only getting pressured by a Jhin feels totally fine.
Yeah, and they're losing out so heavily here. T1 are. Fake is so low as well.
He does have flash.
And it's kind of like HLE's just pouring salt on the wounds in the top lane right now by rotating Viper and Delight into Zeus, forcing Karya to make a roam top. But the Braum didn't do anything there. Braum's supposed to counter Misfortune's ult, and really didn't do anything.
Such a strange passage of play from T1. I feel like they just made...
Karya lost his flash.
When is the last time you saw Zeus hit a minion, by the way? But I feel like they just made the wrong decisions back to back, and Hololive Esports held strong. So
Zeus is about to have his flash up, so this might allow T1 to do something aggressive here. Now, HLE have a lot of vision in this topside jungle of T1.
Strange flash interaction there. Try to flash the W from Delight, doesn't really work out, still in combo range. And then the ult from
I like that Viper has the cleanse. I think this keeps hurting Guma because he won't take cleanse. He keeps taking barrier. He's lost a match and a game already where he needed cleanse, I think, for the CC. I don't recall if he got caught out the last game or not. I know he did in this last series with Fox and HLE where he needed the cleanse.
Very tilted since what was it?
It wouldn't have changed.
What finals was that?
So we're back to the standard top lane matchup, but Doran's getting ahead in this bad matchup for him. 79 CS to 40, was it?
But it's fine. I mean, you'll have points in your E anyway at this point. But I think it was just Karya, you know.
66. I was gonna say I don't think Zeus has 40 CS at this time. He should have around 100. You want to get 100 CS at 10 minutes. That should be your first goal in solo queue if you don't know what to do. Practice a champion and practice getting 100 CS at 10 minutes and 200 at 20. I don't think there's anything too coaching or analytical I could say right there. It just got caught out. He also wasted his flash.
He's not allowed to farm this game.
Okay, trying to take the 1v1 here. Actually is going to win that.
So Owner's going to come back in and get some revenge on Doran. Peanut lost his flash on that play. On
I feel like it's not been a good Doran series.
Was it Doran?
Solo killed at some point, you know.
That's true.
You gotta get it.
Yeah,
Zeus.
Early, you're like, okay, this doesn't matter now.
Yeah. Oh.
Trying to land the stun here on a Zeka, but with Delight nearby.
There's the Lucian Braum combo, you know. I just think
T1's on Scuttle Crab, Vision, and Vision from
in the mid lane. Yeah. And the
HLE, but it looks like they're not going to worry about it. Their top lane's doing fine in this matchup, so they don't really need the Void Grubs. This lane is winning, the mid lane. This lane is winning, so they go for the dragon. And it's the formula I talk about to take the dragons at the 5 minutes and plan around it, and then take the next dragon. And while you're waiting on the dragon to respawn in the 5 minutes, then take the Void Grub, come back. If you're a jungler, or you're on a team and you're a laner and you win and you don't know what to do, you need to start taking objectives off the map.
Yeah.
The execution, not so clear.
Theory Not working out very well. How like
Yeah,
Esports are kind of stomping them here in this early game. And Zeus, he's like, I can clear the way.
Okay, so Zeus for Peanuts Flash.
Flash early, can't flash the auto attack. And then here,
Owner must
this
have.
is one of these moments where,
Owner gets a highlight here.
What happened?
yeah, this
He
is
really wanted to get it out of the way early.
where you beat
Really good job on Owner right there, making an outplay. There's a time and place for everything, and you notice where Owner was playing that aggressive by his turret. He wasn't overextended on the enemy side of the map. Dorn was the one that was overextended without a flash, I think.
I saw this play coming, and it made me reconsider my vote.
He took like 5 turns.
So we got the Dragon coming up in 3 minutes and 40 seconds, and the Rift Herald at 1 minute and 34 seconds.
Stunned, and in effect, stunned himself. Stood there.
It was very silly.
Never changed, Doran. Never changed.
The teams should be coming around here, starting to prep the Vision.
Well, that happened. Now Peanuts on Vision.
As Owner is in trying to steal red buff, he is overextended and going to get caught out. Faker's up here to try to save him, but I think it's too late.
We do have Carriot and Guma trying to go for the 2v2, but Viper already with the BT finished. Gotta be careful about that.
You see this new MF build where BT has so much AD now, and obviously MF skills solo.
So Viper Zeka's flash is down, Peanuts flash is down, Dorn's flash is down, Dorn's teleport is down, Zeus's flash is down, Owner's flash is down, Faker's teleport is down. We're just prepping for the next team fight right here. You have to play around the Vision and the ability, the summoner spells, or the ultimates. And as Zeka just got his Trinity Force here, so this should make some type of big advantage over here if HLE want to force some type of team fight at the Rift Herald in 20 seconds. I would say that HLE are definitely ahead at this point to take. Oh, Faker's got his Kraken Slayer now. Now Zeus needs his first item. T1, at least Faker, what we've seen on my stream in the last match that I did, reviewed, that he's very item dependent. He will not take an objective like the Baron unless it's 20 minutes or at 20 minutes unless he has his 2 items. There's times when they were playing against Fox where they should have won. Maybe a team fight if Faker went in, but he didn't because he thought he needed his second item and needed to recall, so that takes like a minute or a minute and a half to go back and come back, and that hesitation lost T1 a fight. It probably lost the game for them.
He's having a tough time.
Here comes Doran. He wants to take a trade up against Faker.
So T1 get Doran's ultimate. Doran almost survived. He's got Faker, so that was pretty much even trade. T1 did get the Rift Herald at the same time. But I would say that HLE are going to get the next dragon. They've got the area. A lot more vision down there. Owner and Braum are going to have to get down here and get vision in this area. Prep.
Well, we got a little dive going on here as another TP is going to come. Carrie's just going to die to the turret.
Don't really know why T1 are diving so hard. Like they forgot about objectives. I think there's some like personality, ego type things where players get hung up on they want to prove they're the better player. So like Zeus really wants to prove that he's the better top lane than Dorn. So their egos can get in the way, and then they make decisions where if they were playing a, say like a number 2 LPL team like top, they would not get into this stuff. But this is something domestically in Korea that they get hung up on and make poor decisions.
Taking too many tower hits off the bat, and then Zeka just melts him. Honestly, and then here it looks like Zeka.
So we just see T1 down here getting the Scuttle Crab on the Baron pit.
is to save Zeka. Clutch play from, oh my god.
no.
Might start just using yellow all the time. I was trying to put everything blue and yellow, but it might look dumb on my screen, and it'd just be easier to do yellow.
And HLE Esports have made 100% sure that this Gnar does not get to lane at all.
Will he complete the call by the end of the
So,
game?
T1, I guess, are gonna get the second turret because of the Rift Herald push.
Herald coming in, but they won't be able to do
3-man here, 3-3. But HLE are down here sneaking the dragon at the same time, which gives them 2 dragons, means they only need 2 more, and they'll have the dragon soul. And I pretty much think that it's probably like an 80% win rate if you have the dragon soul, that you'll win the game. And so I have a formula that I preach, that you get 4 dragons and then the Baron, and you can close the game out in 25 minutes, 30 minutes. Renekton took a little bit of a different itemization here with the Stride Breaker, is it called?
It's getting very goofy, I think.
Where in the last game, Zeus went the lethality item first. And I think Gnar's behind. He should have his Trinity Force around 15 minutes, like Zeka did. So again, like Zeus might not be confident to go for like a Baron play right now or a team fight until he gets his first item.
20 away from the coal being stacked. He's so close but so far.
He's getting there.
Guma has a
Slowly coming through. He has 600 more
a
gold.
counter pick to Misfortune, but he's behind.
Delight does have 2 kills, to be fair.
Yeah, Delight is pretty fed.
I don't know how he manages to get those last hits, but
Yeah, he's working hard.
oh, I don't want to watch this again.
Yeah, let's break it down. So what Guma does is he assumes they can't kill him, and he misjudges the max
Well,
range
Guma's
of Zyra route,
safe.
and then he dies.
But did he lose his flash? No,
Yeah,
his.
that's what happened.
I guess he lost his
He's just trying
barrier.
to save the turret. Like,
And
you
maybe
can
he needs
understand
cleanse
the
because of the
reasoning, but
Zyra
it's
ultimate
execution. We talk about
and
this all
the
time.
Alistair
It's like,
knockup.
You understand their mindset, what they're thinking, but it just ends up looking very silly.
So this might be a greedy summoner spell that Guma Yushi's running.
Everywhere it feels like in this game, like he's top, he's bot, he's pressuring, making sure Zeus doesn't get the farm, he's pushing turrets, he's always in the right place at the right time.
Nar's about to have his ultimate
And
back
that time
up.
He's able to pick up a kill.
Okay, 16 to go on Zeus. This is what I'm
Just
investing
looking at the call.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's definitely very...
Faker, no Faker. Zeka's got the Farsight ward.
It's not blown out yet, right? They're still very much in the driver's
So
seat.
Zeka's on his 2-item power spike now.
I am focused on the coal because that's the comeback, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure he's ready to go for a team fight. Faker's on his 2-item power spike and Nar's on his Trinity Force, but he is behind
12.
by like half an item.
He's actually able to farm now.
2 more waves.
We have
I hope
lost.
everyone cheers when he starts
Now
to go.
Misfortune's
This is a
on his
momentous occasion.
2 power spike items, so now's the time for HLE to make some type of team fight play here. Maybe at the
I
Baron.
mean, they lost all of their outer turrets, so you can see he's actually not pushing the wave. He's actually trying to have
The
it
way I
into him with
look at the
very
map
smart
here
situations.
Oh,
is
but now Corky's coming, so he can't farm the next 5 stacks.
Huh?
It has been 13 minutes now since he bought the coal, you know?
Yeah.
He's just trying to get his gold.
I look at it as HLE own that much of the map
He's not able to finish it
because
yet.
it's taking Carrier and team to help Owner even get his own farm over here.
Go up there. So now with Baron available and HLE Esports in
Baron for coal trade?
total control.
Is
Looking
that the
at
strat? Do we trade? We let Zeus get coal bot lane and we give up Baron?
Oh,
Maybe.
he does have TP. So I hope at this point in time, if they're worried about
Zeus has his
Baron,
TP up and Dorn has his
he's
TP
ready
up.
with this
Now's the time to go for some type of team fight if you're HLE because Zeus doesn't have a flash.
Zeus actually behind Doran now, and Delight is on the huge
Zeus
flank
might
here.
get caught out here. He doesn't have a flash, so I'm pretty sure that HLE know he does not have a flash right now, so he's going to get caught out. Now we look at what is T1 doing over here,
The only
and they're not really doing anything.
No! Zeus!
he's not gonna get it.
So now's the time that HLE can probably go take the Baron.
Goes down for the third time, and yeah, he still hasn't finished his call.
He literally could have got it. I think he should. If he died under the tower for the call, he could have said worth in all chat.
Yeah.
He can't anymore. It wasn't worth.
Yeah.
Doran's on his 2 items now.
Like, I mean, okay. Well, let's look at what happened on the map, because at least T1 were able to get in and take some vision around the Baron, but it's very much very small.
Zek is a good bit ahead of Faker in this instant to make a team fight because he's sitting on a Zeal. Aguma's got his Collector.
I love how we get the engaged Braum, and Faker goes, I don't condone.
Carrier's Flash is down, Carrier's Ignite is down, so Carrier gets caught out. Notice how he threw this ward down again. Try to do damage on the enemy or something.
Where am I?
Where is Zeus right now?
Yeah, well, he's
Zeka is teleporting from not very far away to come in and clean up this play.
Yes, they will. Down he goes. And Zeus, in fact, will hit Meganar, and he still hasn't finished the call.
It's been 15 minutes.
So HLE's doing what I want to see anyways. I'd rather see you take the Dragon first than the Baron.
If you don't get the stacks.
You want to take every Dragon as soon as it's up, because it accelerates you to end the game at 25 or 30 minutes. The longer you go, you're just making it more and more difficult to close the game out and win. Because it's like, if you're a good player in solo queue, to win, you're having to make up for your teammates' mistakes. And so the longer it goes, the more and more they make. It's just more and more work for you to clean up their mistakes.
No, the replay.
How could you show a replay at a time like this?
Okay, so this is how they got Peanut.
Yeah, just stepped up too far when the team up there. This is kind of the value of the Jhin in the Desira, with it being in a mobile pick. The pick potential is there.
Nice play from Owner.
He comes in and T1 are so far behind. Zeus ends up being the sacrifice. Does flash the combo from Delight, but it's just not enough.
Honestly,
Zeka made a really big play there, teleporting, because he was, instead of roaming, he was clear over here. Might have been able to get there in time as long as it takes the teleport to proc. But now Zeka's on his rapid fire cannon.
I think it's still worth, but again, they have to do so much more to come back.
Faker's a good bit behind.
Might be the angle. Doran does take a big chunk of damage, but
It's time to force a team fight.
You know, that was
Time to force a team fight if you're HLE.
to go for that play, chunk out Doran. T1 are revitalized on the back of that small influx of gold. But they are trying to ward Honor Life Esports away from the Baron. They're trying to force them out, get some poke down, but struggling against pressure. And I think a big thing is their T1 being down, their tier 1 being down for T1, and Honor Life's being up. Means it's very hard to get pressure around mid. They do land.
Just watching what's going on here. A lot of stuff.
Right now. Yeah. At this point in time, I mean, they're just trying to clear out as much vision as possible, utilize traps, utilize Jhin traps as well, and just try to slowly edge their way forward to this river. But Honor Life Esports very far ahead, controlling the vision around it very well. And you know, they're not
also Delight's on his Warmogs, which Riot's trying to nerf. They're saying that there's some HP threshold that you hit on Warmogs, which I haven't looked too much into, but they're saying this is OP when you rush the Warmogs on the support. I don't know if it has something to do with helping the support item or not. I've not played support this season, so I couldn't tell you, but it's something that Riot really doesn't like, so Delight has a pretty big advantage at the moment. Looks like HLE are going in on the Baron. I don't think T1 can do anything, and then the Zyra really does a lot of damage at 20 minutes in the game to the Baron. So I don't think they're going to steal the Baron from HLE.
Yeah, Delight playing bodyguard so he can knock away Owner if needed, and there was like probably 7
T1, that is.
Hit, so Owner throws a spear and it just hits one of the plants.
So now it's will HLE get some type of push with this Baron buff into the enemy side of the map, break into the enemy base? That's what the Baron buff's good for, is to shove into like the bottom lane. I mean, the bottom lane's clear into the inhibitor. I have to check my little one. Hold on one second. Okay. My little one wants to help me drive. Let me check this page too. Okay, cool. There's some button or something I hit that will turn my mic off. So hey now. Okay, back into the game.
Kill them, deny the Baron pressure, and then somehow sneak the dragon. A lot of difficult to do things, but I think that is the win con right now for this T1 composition.
Yeah, I just don't think it's gonna happen.
As Guma finally gets his Swifty boots at 26 minutes into the game. So it's not looking good for T1 here. It's 49k to 43k with HLE having 3 dragons. Dragon up in a minute. I don't think there's anything T1 can do to straight up win this dragon fight.
Sucked up all the gold off the map. They've gotten all the objectives.
Again, looking at the power spikes of the items.
Because T1 are never really allowed to hit turrets, so it doesn't really offer them all too much.
And you know, it feels like
Doran's on a big BF sword, Sterix gauge, Stride Breaker, Trinity Force, Phage. There, Zeus just got his Black Cleaver.
The Jin Braum not really providing that much value right now. The Lucian not doing anything really to the Corki in terms of pressure has resulted in Life Esports being far further ahead than they were at any point really.
1 second. Okay, my dog really doesn't like League of Legends, but he's not going to be around as long as I am, so there's nothing I can do about it. He may have just wanted to drink of water. So, okay. I apologize. Not very professional of me, right?
Test space against Zyra.
Yeah, because with how well Peanut is playing as well, like he's putting down plans forward.
Again, I think there's some type of ego thing in the LCK where, like in this match here, Zeus really wants to prove that he's the better top laner than Doran, so your ego gets in the way and you start making plays that you normally wouldn't make against maybe a Team Liquid or a G2 or a top Esports. So, and maybe a player like Peanut and Doran set him up for that. They know this. They, like, Peanut's played with, well, he's not played with Zeus, has he?
Yeah, and the thing is they use the General to try and take Doran out and just end up doing about a third of the Light's health bar. And that's it. You know, there's a ward actually behind. You can see that control ward.
So, Zeka and Norn are going topside. How long is left on the Baron? The Elder Dragon's up in 5 minutes and 30 seconds.
They can make. You know, I talked about pick potential.
Again, the way I look at this, like from the vision,
alternatively,
kind of look at where the turrets are.
I think that's the play. You know,
all of this map belongs to HLE.
You know, I did have a burger today.
Oh, did you?
I'll let you know that.
How very American of you.
You know, I just decided today's the day I'm just going to get a burger before the cast.
Faker can't even get his blue buff in his own jungle.
I think you're right.
It's bad, again, like 10 minutes ago, where you're in your jungle and you can't even get anything because the enemy's already taken all of it. That's how you just slowly choke out an enemy and win the game. So Zeus doesn't have his flash up, or Zeus has his flash up, but I don't think it's going to help him.
Except half his health, as now they're trying to engage on a Viper, but it's just so fast that the Braum ult is too slow to catch the MF. And now TP comes in from Doran.
So I don't really know what T1 can do to come back into this game. It's going to take winning an Elder Dragon or the team sitting on 6 items, so then it would take another 20 minutes or so. I mean, Guma's playing a counter pick into Viper, and Viper's looking like he won, even though that's misleading, right? Like, he still had help from Delight or Peanut, but anyways, the matchup didn't work out for Guma, who took a counter pick. So what I'm saying is that probably wasn't a good laning phase for Guma. He should have statistically won his laning phase just based on numbers. Now, players can mechanically outplay others. You can't just... One thing I don't like about solo queue and NA is, like, especially if I get the first pick. If I get first pick jungle, I've got 5 people picking counters of my champion, and then it makes me carrying so hard, and I can, and have. But that's the skill level in NA, is they think they can go to op.gg and just pick a counter and win every game. And it doesn't work that way. You have to mechanically outplay players. You can make an easy matchup with the counter, but if you're practicing of everyday grinding the same champion, you'll get good enough to beat those lane matchups or those lane counters, and those numbers won't matter. And that's the one annoying thing to me about playing NA solo queue is, again, like, say I'm like the first pick or the second pick, I just get like 5 people or 4 people on the other team counter picking my champion, and then I have like 4 counter picks against me, and then they go for me every time, and then I lose the game because my teammates don't do anything, and it's just not fun. Trying to get this screen here for my drafts. There we go. So again, I apologize, the mic setting, I learned I should probably put it in front of me like I have it now. That might make a little bit of a difference. There. What did I do? There we go. And so that's about it, everybody, for the T1 vs HLE Saturday showdown, where HLE just pretty much convincingly looked like they're a better team than T1. I don't know if T1's burned out right now. They need a break. Maybe they'll turn things around at Worlds. How's my driving? So that's it for today's Next Level with Sodaron VOD reviewing match 47 of the LCK Summer 2024 with T1 vs HLE. I will see you next time. Hopefully I do Genji vs Damwon Kia. May do it tonight, may do it tomorrow. Streaming schedule wise, Monday is my laundry day where I'm off, so I don't know if I'll do VOD reviews that day. And my next week I have 2 doctor's appointments coming up on a Tuesday and Wednesday, so I may be busy where you don't see Sodaron for a few days. Now don't think, oh man, Sodaron went away for another year again, he'll never be back. I'll be back with you. I just got a couple important doctor appointments coming up. I need new glasses, so it may put me behind a day or two. I don't know what matches there are today on the LCK, but I found today very valuable. It would be nice if I could sit down and knock out Genji and Damwon Kia as well. I might do that. I don't know. I'm going to sit and take a break and rest and check my energy levels and eat some food. I know I'd like to sit and eat before I do anything, so that's today. Again, I should do match 48 for Genji versus Damwon Kia, or okay, yeah, Genji versus Damwon Kia. So now Genji is the #1 team and HLE are #2, and T1 fall clear down to rank 6. So we have a much different looking LCK right now. Pretty crazy when a team goes away and wins World Cup and then they fall down to #6. But I think the LCK is very competitive. I would like to see some tournaments where the lower LCKs get to go to international teams like a Bro or a Nongshim or a Fox and maybe play a G2 or play a top Esports or play a, I don't know, an Anyone's Legend or an FPX, or I would like to see some tournaments like that, or I don't know, make it stacked, put the #1 LCS team or #2 LCS team or whatever. But I would like to see some international competition where maybe like the top LCK teams get a break for a couple weeks and the lower teams get to go do something. I would watch. It'd be interesting to see how Bro would do against a Team Liquid, or they would do against an Anyone's Legend, or against a Team Vitality. I would like to see. So thank you for tuning in, and I'll catch you next time.
That they will lose.